Alright, hello everyone. Welcome to Scriddle. This is Scriddle number 18. We are going to solve this puzzle without knowing what the rules are. And every time we guess a solution, we are going to get told which rules we broke. We're not going to get told what the rules are, but we're going to get some hints about how we broke the rules of the game. Anyway, yeah, check out the rest of them. I'm catching up with my backlog. Let's reset the page and start solving. Ooh. I immediately had a huge slurp of coffee on the microphone. I apologize for that. Okay, so we've got a grid of numbers. None of the numbers are higher than the side, like the length of the table, which is interesting. Predictably, we can click the numbers to turn them on and off. So what are we thinking? It could be to do with adjacency. None of the numbers are also bigger. Like every cell has up to 8. Ooh, yeah. Every cell has like 8 neighbors, so it could be to do with neighboring tiles that are switched on. But we've got 8s by the edge, so it's probably not going to be that. My guess here is that we've got to shade cells such that maybe we're not breaking any rules or something like that, I feel like. And I'm just checking here. So there isn't a 1 in every row, and there isn't a 1 in every column, and there are multiples in some rows and columns. Okay, so my feeling right now, I mean, it can't be. There's got to be like some starting point, right? And I feel like if it's to do with like rows, this can't be the case, right? Because like all 8 are going to be on, which means that these numbers are not going to be satisfied. It's interesting. Could be to do with paths. This reminds me a little bit of something called a chromatic maze, but there's no obvious starting point. It's not like there's only one, for example. But maybe it is to do with finding a path from 1 to 8. So if we look at all of our 1s, we've got some 1s that are near 2s. Maybe you're allowed to move diagonally. Let's be generous. Only problem with this is that, like in this case, there's multiple 1s. So like, what would a correct solution look like, right? 1, 2, 3, but now we're kind of stuck. So I'm thinking probably not that. Also, just sort of generally hard to express. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon, actually. 2, 3, 4. But yeah, there's nothing, huh? I feel like there's been too long. We spent too long without putting a guess in, so I'm gonna... how many 8s are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Any more on 6? Any other answers? Nope. Okay. Let's shade like one of the 1s. Let's shade all of the 2s and see what that does. Let's shade any more 2s? Yeah, there's a lot of 2s. Holy moly. I think there's... okay. Let's shade this squad of 4s. That seems kind of interesting. And then let's just hit guess and see what happens. Okay, breaks the red rule, breaks the orange rule. Okay, not too bad. Right, so these feel like we're back with our old friend orthogonal continuity. So can't have shaded squares next to each other. Can have them diagonally next to each other, but not touching. These break the orange rule. What's significant about these? Or rather, what's significant about the ones that are not shaded here? Those... well, no. I don't think I can hazard a guess at this one yet. And then yellow. So it's very specifically some numbers are highlighted here and some aren't. Looks to me like... don't think it's to do with... it doesn't look like it's to do with adjacency. And I say that because we've got... let's just click this. We've got an 8 here. An 8 unshaded next to the edge of the board with 5 neighbors that are also unshaded. And we've got an 8 here next to 5 unshaded numbers on the edge of the board. So these 8s, in terms of their adjacency, are mostly identical, unless it's to do with, the numbers on the adjacent tiles. And this one is breaking the rule and this one isn't. So some very odd gaps here, some very, I mean, okay. So we know that these are breaking rules. So let's start with that. We know that these are breaking rules. So what else do we like? Is it to do with I mean, it could be to do with paths, I suppose. We did have diagonal paths on a previous Scriddle. These were... So the yellow rules are definitely to do with the white tiles. So some of these are satisfied and some of them aren't. Again, they feel like they have completely different things true of them right now. This is actually, that's quite a good one to test. Let's just throw some stuff out. Okay. So again, breaking the orange rule in very few places. Why? Is it because they are cutting off part of the... I think it might be. So it feels like a lot of the crunch is in this yellow rule here. So what's weird? What is going on here? The 5 and the 8 are still... A lot of the same numbers are highlighted as were highlighted before, which is very interesting. Are there any here which are not highlighted but not shaded? This 3 has changed. So this 3 was fine here. Sorry, it was fine here, but it was not fine here. So it's definitely closer to shaded tiles than it was before. The thing that's going through my head while I'm looking at this is if there was a rule about it would be a lot of mental effort if the answer to this puzzle involved me having to check 64 sets of constraints, like if I was checking rules against every single tile, that would be quite a lot. But I'm trying to think, what would that mean for the rules not to affect every single tile? What could that possibly be? Is it sightlines? Is it... So this 3, what can this 3 see? This 2... None of the... No, the 1s are yellow as well. Are there any 8s? There are 8s that are yellow. Let's just confirm our suspicions about... Yeah, okay. So we've kind of got the orange rule as well. We just can't cut anything off. What has changed here in terms of yellows? Absolutely nothing. Oh wait, the 4s are now not satisfied. Okay. Done something wrong. We have done something wrong. Let's focus on this group of 4s then. How are we gonna solve that? Still doesn't like it. Okay. Let's burn a few guesses trying to explore this top right. Still doesn't like it. Okay. So why was that okay? Why was that okay? Because there really aren't... I mean, we can do this, I guess. Is this what they want? It is, isn't it? Yeah, okay. So what's going on here? We don't want numbers to be next to the same number. But that's clearly not what's going on here, because, well, these ones are, but this 3 isn't. This 3 is, I mean, the only number it's adjacent to right now is a 5. So, and it can't be numbers bigger than it, because, I've got an example here. I mean, this 3 is next to an 8, which is fine. It's weird though, right? That there are all of these numbers kind of next to each other. Oh boy, this is gonna be like some weird triangulation of what this rule is. So I kind of made some changes quite idly down here, but it definitely has, like, there are like more of these numbers are okay. These ones still aren't, which is interesting. Thinking back again to what would the starting point be for this puzzle? Like where would you look first if you wanted to start solving this puzzle? What kinds of what collections of numbers here are unusual? I think the 2x2s of identical numbers. It feels to me like you would. I can't express exactly what the rules are, but it feels to me like you would look at these and go like, oh, I know this is either diagonal this way or diagonal that way. Okay, I think that's what that's telling you. So I think you would start at these 2x2s, but I can't think what rule that is expressing, and why, for example, this 2 breaks it. Like why are these 4s happy and this 2 isn't? Because they're all in one contiguous space. I think they have to be. I think that's one of the rules. So we could start fiddling around here. I can't fill in this number because that will block off half of the thing. I can't fill in that one either. So, oh, my guess is for this is going to be through the roof. Okay, I think that 2 was fine. Oh, well, the 2 was filled in. So the 6 was fine. Oh, that's weird. Look at this. It's about having the same number in the same row or column, which is why the 2x2s are solved in that way. Because you know, like, well, this 4 can't see a 4 in the same column or the same row, and so it has to be like that. Okay, so that's great. So this actually is going to take quite a while to solve. So let's look at, we know that if the 4s are like this, are there any 4s in any of these rows and columns? No. If the 7s are like this, any 7s? No. Okay, so these 1s can't share the same row, which means one of them is definitely going to have to be off, which means this one can't be. So either this one's shaded or this one is shaded, which means that this 3 can't be shaded because we know shaded cells can't be next to each other. Because of that, we know that this 3 has to be shaded because it would be in the same column. See, now we're cooking. Which means this one can't be shaded. This one has to be. If this one can't be shaded, then this one has to be, because otherwise it would be able to see. All right. Okay. I think all of the other 3s look okay to me. That feels good, right? These 5s can see each other, but this one can't be shaded, so this one has to be. Where are the other 5s? Can any more 5s see each other? These 5s are good. The 5s are all looking great. Any more obvious violations? I kind of wish I didn't have these ones that I already put in now, because we're gonna have to redo some of these. This 4 we've already kind of guessed correctly, so that's fine. We still don't know which one of these 1s is going to be shaded, but we know that one of them has to be. We've got a 1 here, we've got a 2 here. One of these 2s is going to have to be shaded, which is fine. It currently could be either of them. That might change. These 2s are no good. They can all see each other. Only some of these 2s are going to be okay. This 2 has to be fine. Nothing earth-shattering about these facts so far. I guess we can start doing this as well, because we know that I suppose we don't know. Well, we know for the 4s, we don't know so much for the 7s. So actually maybe I should unshade these and have them more tentative for now. So what do we know here? These 8s are locked in. That doesn't do anything for us. These 4s are locked in. These 1s can't be the way they are. This actually makes me think that I got the 7s wrong. I'm going to gamble on this and say that this 1 has to be there. That means this one also has to be there. Again, also fine so far. That means this 5 has to be here, which means this one can't. Something about this rule set is that your mind wants to look for numbers that are competing. Sorry, numbers that are not competing, but technically you need to be looking for numbers that are competing, which is makes my brain go a little bit funny. We can't actually shade this number in because it would create a like boxed off area, which means this 2 can't be there. So we're kind of down to these ones now. Similarly, can't shade this one off, can't shade these off because they're adjacent. Because we can't shade this one off, that one has to be shaded, which means this one becomes fine. 4s are good, 2s are good, 8s are good. God, it feels like it should not take this long for me to do this. I still feel good about this gamble on the 7s. I think I'll explain that in a bit. Because it was actually a really stupid gamble and it shouldn't have paid off, but it did. What else are we getting here? 7s, 3s. These 8s are in conflict. One of these 8s has to be off. These 2s are good. This is fine. These 2s are in conflict, but I don't think we know anything about it yet. The 1s, the 5s, the 6s. Okay, the 6s can't be. We can't shade this one in because it would lop this one off, I think, which means we're going to have to shade this one in. Means we can't shade this 3, or this 5, or this 4. Or the 7. So these all got to remain unshaded. I think we can't shade this one because I think it would cut off part of the thing. So that one has to be shaded. That means these ones can't be. The 2 is not in conflict, so we don't actually care. All right, getting there. It's really just these 2s and the 1s at the bottom, which means we could just brute force, I think. Oh, we should have, that was stupid. I already should have seen that. So I think this might be it, or there's probably something I've forgotten. Oh, the 2, right. And it can't be this one, and it can't be this one. So there we go. I think that's fine. All right, that was pretty good. That was cool. I think this is one where a number of people have got it way faster than me because I think the intuition is not so outlandish. I think I could have realized that earlier on, I think. So let's just go back. Well, let's see the rules briefly. Shade some cells on the board. Oh, Hitori, I think this is like quite well known, I think. I've seen this before. Shaded cells cannot be horizontal or vertically adjacent. A row or column may not contain 2 unshaded cells with identical numbers. Yep. And orthogonal connections. Makes perfect sense. So let me just briefly talk about a couple of things. So the 2x2 I should have cottoned on to earlier. I think it was right. It was a good play to spend some guesses, like figuring out the combinations that made that okay. And that kind of unlocked the rest of the puzzle. There was a point where I was like, oh, I think these 7s are wrong. I had them the other way around. So I played a lot of Slitherlink, and when you're doing Slitherlink, I've played a lot of Slitherlink, and you start to feel like the texture of when something has been put there to help you trigger something else. So I was looking at these 1s and I was like, oh, I don't really have any intuition of which one would be preferable. Like, not what the state of the board I currently had didn't really tell me either way which one I should do next. And then I realized, like, oh wait, if the 7s were the other way around, that would actually force a constraint on this one. And so it felt like the 7s going one way would give me nothing, and the 7s going the other way would instantly give me something. And often you get this with the Slitherlink where you've kind of got a 50-50 choice, and you're gonna have to like assume one of them and work through the answer until you get to a contradiction. And if you see that one of them instantly gives you like a little bit of something, it doesn't always mean that that's correct, especially on bigger or more complex ones. But occasionally you just feel like, oh, actually this could be why it's here. This could be like why this is placed in such a way. It's actually to help you solve this next part of the puzzle. So it was a gamble. That was not a genius level move or anything like that. It's actually frequently wrong. But that was the rationale I had when I was making that choice. That was a cool one. I'm a little embarrassed. I was a little bit slow on that, but that was real fun. Excellent. All right. Thanks for watching.